The tale's wordy. It was a cold, stormy night in a small coastal village. The wind howled like a wounded wolf. The rain lashed against the roofs, and the sea roared in the distance. In a tiny wooden house, at the edge of the village, lived an old woman named Clara, known by everyone as the Candle Lady. Every evening, Clara would light a candle and place it by her window. No matter how dark the night or how violent the storm, her candle always burned steady, gentle, and warm. The woman and her candle. For years, the villagers had watched her strange habit. Some laughed, saying that candle can't fight the darkness. Others wondered why she wasted wax every night. But Clara would simply smile and whisper, "Even a single candle can guide someone lost in the dark." And she meant it with all her heart. Years ago, Clara's only son, Thomas, had gone to sea to work as a fisherman. One terrible night, his boat was caught in a storm and never returned. For months, Clara walked to the shore with a lantern, calling his name, hoping he would see her light and find his way home. He never did. From that day on, she promised herself she would light a candle every night, not just for Thomas, but for anyone who might be lost, lonely, or searching for hope. The storm that tested everything. One fateful evening, a storm far worse than any before swept over the village. The wind tore off roofs, trees crashed to the ground, and the sea crept dangerously close. The villagers hurried to close their doors, shutter their windows, and hide inside. But Clara, weak and old, struggled to keep her candle burning. The wind pushed through the cracks, threatening to blow out the tiny flame. Her hands trembled as she shielded it with her palms. Her voice was barely a whisper. "Stay alive, little light. Someone may need you tonight." Then suddenly, the power went out across the entire village. Darkness swallowed everything. The only light visible through the storm was Clara's small candle, glowing faintly through the night. The stranger in the night, miles away, a young man named David, a traveler who had lost his way in the storm, stumbled along the muddy path. His car had broken down, his phone battery had died, and the freezing rain soaked him to the bone. He was tired, scared, and desperate for shelter. Just when he thought he could go no further, he saw it, a tiny flicker of light, dancing in the distance. That can't be real, he thought. But the light didn't fade. It called to him, like hope itself. Dragging his heavy feet through the wind, he followed the glow, until he reached Clara's little house. He knocked weakly, and the door opened. There stood the old woman, holding her candle. Without a word, she helped him inside, wrapped him in a blanket, and offered him warm tea. "You found my light," she said, with a gentle smile. He looked at her, eyes full of tears. "Ma'am, your candle saved me. I thought I wouldn't make it." Clara simply nodded, her wrinkled eyes soft and kind. "That's why I keep it burning. We never know who needs it." The morning after. By morning, the storm had passed. The sun rose quietly over the sea, and the village began to repair its wounds. David helped Clara fix her broken fence, thanked her deeply, and left. But the story didn't end there. Months later, David, who turned out to be a young journalist, wrote about the woman with the candle who saved his life. His article went viral across the country. People were moved to tears by the idea that one small act of kindness, one single light, could save a life. Visitors began coming to the village, not to see the sea, but to see Clara's window, where a candle still glowed every night, a light that never died. Years later, when Clara passed away peacefully in her sleep, the villagers gathered outside her home, holding candles in their hands. The mayor spoke softly, his voice filled with emotion. "She taught us that light is not about brightness. It's about hope. One candle can't end the darkness, but it can show someone the way through it." And from that night on, every house in the village placed a candle in its window during storms, each flame a reminder that kindness shines brightest in the darkest times. Moral of the story: never underestimate the power of a small act of kindness. A single light can save someone lost in the dark.